What's good, superstars? Back with another VV video. You got Superstar Joe, you got Superstar Rob, and you got Superstar Omi Daily Burn in the building. How's it going, Omi Daily Burn? Rob, how you doing?
Oh, good.
Oh my God!
Wow, that's another knockout right there.
You took a page out of your book with the late punch at the end there. I survived, and then that last one knocked me out, I think. Guys, if you're new here, don't forget. Become a superstar. Smash the subscribe button down below. Hit the bell notification so you know whenever we post, whenever we get cool collabs like Omi Daily Burn, who's been lighting the internet on fire lately with his analysis. His first video just came out. He dropped a second video right away. It looks like he's just jumping right in there with the analysis videos, the data videos. You know how much we love data. That's one of the things that's drawn a lot of our viewers to our channel. So hopefully you guys are able to go and check out and support our boy Omi Daily Burn on his channel. We're going to get into his channel, but before that, you can become a superstar VIP, $2.99 a month. You can get a nice badge next to your name, get access to our spreadsheets, which will let you know if you should sweep the floor, if you should go for a drop, a bunch of different things there. We also post all our buys and sells, let you have advertisements, first dibs on merch, and we'll name a star in the universe after a VIP every single month. So make sure you guys join the VIP. Shout out to all the VIP. We have a new one in the house, Anan1 Kenobi. Thank you for joining and appreciate everybody who's still here supporting us through this bear market. We're going to continue to try and bring as much data and research and smart people to the channel as we can. So Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. On Twitter, you'll find our VV profile. Discord is in the description. PO Box is in the description. You can send us cool stuff like that. So Rob, why don't you pull up Omi Daily Burn's channel, and Omi Daily Burn, why don't you go through why you started the YouTube channel, what you were doing before that, and just what got you into VV, that type of stuff.
Yeah, I started the channel just because I found a lot of data that I'm trying to like analyze. You know, looking at this data, I'm thinking it's kind of valuable to the community. Kind of trying to code this stuff up, looking at Mutascan. There's a lot of information on there that you know people should know, I guess. It's good information. I was kind of before this, I was kind of doing the daily burns, I guess. I was kind of I guess playing off of pudding cheeks. I don't know. And doing those daily burns, kind of getting my name out there and trying to help community with that, because there was I guess another person before that was trying to do that, and they were having some issues. So I figured there's an opportunity. Let's make a Twitter. Let me do it myself. I wrote up a script in a few hours, kind of tested it, put it out there. And then I saw Pudding Cheeks on vacation one day, and he wasn't updating the spreadsheet. Then I called him out, and I'm like, I got you, dude.
Yeah. So yeah, honestly, that's where we started with our analysis, was with Pudding Cheeks' spreadsheet. That helped us to kind of mark close to the top of the market. We started to notice less money coming in, and that's how we did our analysis. But then through that, and as we realized that, hey, this is actually working, we started to research a little bit more. We found your page on Twitter where you post daily. Obviously, it's in the name of your Twitter handle there. And now there's YouTube attached to it. So you're just growing. It's a machine that's coming up here. Let's go through the VV news, our news, and then we're going to get into the topic, because everybody wants to know about the metadata and how it affects our buying, our purchases, and all whatnot. So let us quickly go through VV news, because there's not much. We've got a info dump from Old Rhubarb. So shout out to VV3 getting recognition from VV once again about the Camille Rose Garcia poster that's dropping tomorrow. Someone in the comments asked, what do we think the poster's going for? Rob, do you have any idea?
Honestly, I don't know. I mean, this was the 666 one. What was the mints on this one?
Yeah, I think it's 666.
This was the low. I'm just not an art guy. It doesn't excite me. I know when we talked about it, we were saying that, you know, maybe because it's a low mint, it's so scarce, it might do well. But I don't know. Like, I feel like in a bear market like now, like even if it does well, it doesn't attract me. I'm just sticking to the IP that I like, and I'm hoping for the best. How about you, OBD? What would you do? You gonna go for this drop, or usually stay away from it?
No. I'm not an art guy. I'm sticking with exactly your same analysis, really.
Yeah. I don't think we have, like, did we talk about a specific price target? What we say, like maybe at listed?
So
or
I'm trying to find out what the listed is. I think the listed is 45, so it's not terrible.
No.
I think it's going to go over, just because I'm looking at, this is a stamp sheet. There's 800 editions and it's going for 66. Yeah. So it might be right there. It might be around 50, 55, maybe 45. So between 45 and 55 somewhere, I could see it landing initially, just because of the scarcity. But if you had 100 more editions, you might go below, right?
It's tough one, like, because if we're gonna come in with a price prediction of 45 to 60 gems,
Yeah.
then really it's a no-brainer to go for, because you're gonna end up making gems if you sell it right off the bat and flipping it. So it should be a flipper's dream. But I don't know. Just my sense is that there is a chance that despite the scarcity, it may go under. But you know, if it's a 45, if we're going to use the poster set as a measure, then it's a drop you should go for. It just doesn't attract me.
I'm gonna go for it, I think, just because we got decon coming up. You know, whenever you get, we did a video on timing and being when you buy things and when maybe a good time to sell things is. You know, decon's coming up in November. These are coming out a little pre-decon, right? So maybe as you get closer to decon, people start to research the decon collectibles, and maybe that's a good time that you can sell if you do land this. But I think there's going to be a window at least where these are above retail.
Right before decon maybe gets a little bit of a pump. That's true. It's very possible. Start stacking decon.
I mean, I would say like go with what you like. I mean, if you like this, go for it. I mean, it's
can't go wrong with
not
that.
always about the gems, but hey, you know, if you want to play that game too, you know, take their advice.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with buying what you like, because then you're more willing to hold it for the rebound.
We got the details on the cat holding the skull, and I think it is similar. 40 gems, a little cheaper, but 666 edition. So the 666 for Halloween, I guess.
Halloween, yeah, for sure.
Is the mid size.
I think Lugo was scarier though.
Yeah, it's true. The Jim Henson stuff. And then we got 5 comics dropping for 5 days. So they're doing that comic thing again, but all Halloween themed. Marvel Zombies. The first one's kind of looking like AF-15 out here. You got Spider-Man holding some zombie in his arms, and then you got Captain America here, Wolverine. So pretty cool covers if you're into horror and gore and all that.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't think the comic book experts have spoken yet, but we know some of our consultants, El Champ, for example, Ian Barnes. If you guys are watching, please let us know below a little bit about this comic. We'll go from there.
I haven't heard of it. I mean, I've been out of collecting newer editions lately, kind of more of the older editions, Silver Age and stuff like that. But I would go for it. Just because I like it. Just because I like it, not because of anything else. But the AF-15 cover, the artwork on there is awesome.
Yeah, and it's only 7 gems.
And these are the commons.
Real world, just an example, AF-15. I think you're the one who showed me this app.
Yeah,
it's 75 gems for the high end of the first one.
Yeah, so these are the commons. Somebody had confirmed. So 5 issues in the commons. There's going to be different covers, I believe. I'm not sure.
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah. Let's see what happens. Days. I mean, tomorrow's Monday. Starting Tuesday. So tomorrow they're going to give you everything about the first one. It seems cool. Then we got another one that probably none of us here can afford. Maybe you can, Omi Daily Burn, but I know Rob and I are not able to bid on these.
Yeah, the 101 market, although it's an amazing, incredible, beautiful thing, it's just unattainable right now. Maybe if the liquidity dries up on the high end side, I doubt it, but. What are they going for? Still $5,000, $10,000. You know, we're hitting big numbers on this. At that point, I would just probably buy myself a Walt.
Maybe one of these days we'll get someone who can afford them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now it'd be 2 Walts.
That's true.
That's going. Okay. Our Twitter, nothing much. Just David, you retweeting or quote tweeting on ViperNFT.eth's tweet where they talked about in the spaces. Actually, Rob, you were on the space asking a question, and they further to that they talked about coming to Toronto for a Comic-Con. So that's in March. If that does happen, they said they were looking into it. So that's pretty cool news. We might be able to attend another Veve event in the near future.
I would love to attend a Veve event in our own city. Like, you know, that would actually be a dream, because we're gonna have to go to Anaheim in order to see the team. If they're gonna come to our city, it would be amazing. And I tell you right now, in Toronto specifically, there's at least, I think, 30 of us off the top of my head. Like, and they're dying for a meetup too. How many times have people come to us like, hey, can you guys organize a meetup? We've never done it. But I think the demand is there that if we were to try to, there'd be a lot of people that would come. And if it was a Comic-Con, which is already a massive event here, it would be, I think, a really good success for. Like, I think Veve will be very happy coming to Toronto and seeing the fan here.
And if they don't do it, we'll do a hangout or whatever, and he's gonna drive to us.
I've done the drive.
Yeah. So that's pretty much the news. I guess so. Rob, why don't you get us started? Let's talk about metadata. Let's talk about your last video there, ODB, and I guess how maybe you used. Let's start like this. Have you used data the entire journey on Veve, or is it something that you started to figure out like after you joined? Or did you join and buy what you liked at first and then start to analyze using the data, the gems leaving, entering the app, or were you always data driven from the beginning to end of your journey so far?
It was, I joined in like late October. It was before the golden moments hit. I think the first one I got was the Captain America zombie. On the drop. I didn't know what was going on. I was like, what is this? I mean, like, I buy it and then I see other things, then you saw golden moments and stuff, but I didn't really get into the data part until I saw the put in cheek spreadsheet, honestly. And then I started seeing like, wow, I mean, like all the data's coming in and you can see everything in this app. You had an app tied with blockchain. Everything's right here in front of you. And then you got the metadata. I mean, if it didn't have it at the time, of course, but having that now is like a gold mine of information.
Yeah, we definitely loved the spreadsheet, especially when it was a closed ecosystem and you can actually see the money coming in.
Yep.
When at the drops, when they would come in. We'd also see the amount of gems being burned in app. Obviously, the less overall gems there are available in app, the less free gems there are for people to buy things. And unfortunately, with the changes, we are not able to track the gems in app, but you could still see the money coming in, which is amazing information. And now with the metadata, we're able to see even things that we never even thought were possible, and you're helping make that happen. What I really want to talk to you about today was how people will now need to become used to the possibility that all of their wallets are now going to be exposed. For example, we have a deep dive on largest Veve user wallet, which was your video that created some conversation on Twitter. And really, like, I think this is just going to be the norm. Like, that's the whole point of a blockchain, is that everybody can see what is happening. Everyone can verify the ledger in the sense, right? Everyone knows everyone's wallet. What are your thoughts on the conversation that was started due to your video? What do you think about that?
I mean, I was kind of trying to raise this even before the video came out. Like I got into crypto in 2013. I bought my first Bitcoin from some guy in a McDonald's. It was from localbitcoins.com, I think it was. The guy had a smile ear to ear because he was selling me something that was $125 a piece,
Yeah.
But, going from there, learning from all the things I was doing back then, I was mining, I was developing. But the thing is, I mean, they talk on the news about how, crypto is for hackers and this and that, but in reality, it's exposed. I mean, like, you see everything. You can see somebody's wallet. The only thing left is to tie the wallet to the person.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not here to do that. I'm just trying to look at data and trying to analyze to see what's going on. Who's the whales? I mean, if you knew what a billionaire was doing with the stock market, you'd want to know. This is basically the same kind of concept. So,
so eventually you'd be able to maybe help build portfolios in the sense that you'll know exactly what day it was purchased at. How much they would have paid for that collectible, essentially.
Yeah.
Or at least come close to assuming the floor. You don't really know for sure the actual price, right?
I mean, I can piece it together. I can look at transaction times. I can see the floor at that exact time. And if I had the data, it had the floor data, of course. And then you can kind of, multiply right there. You got yourself your counts, and you can see how much they're up or down as well. I mean, you're talking about, it's a plethora of information. You're talking about the transaction, who it bought it from, who it came to in this specific account. You have that X transaction happened at X time, and it was this collectible. The only thing you don't know is how much they paid for it exactly. You know the floor price if you had that data, but the thing is, like a 41, how are you going to guesstimate the price of that?
Yeah.
People pay more.
You don't know that, but people pay an insane amount of money for it. I mean, there's Twitter posts. You can probably aggregate and find this information from across the community. You can probably piece it together. Maybe it'll take forever, but hey,
do you think that there is a right to privacy, though? Essentially, like, now that metadata is here, do we as individuals, for example, Joe and I currently post our buys and sells.
Yeah.
Eventually, that will all be on the it already is probably on the metadata, but as they populate more and more collectibles, it'll be even easier to aggregate. Do you believe that people have the right to that privacy, Or do you think eventually, for example, every YouTuber, people who work for Veve, all that information will eventually be exposed and should be?
I mean, you take a look at Twitter. I mean, everybody's posting their collectibles. I got a 145 Miles Morales, whatever. You can go onto the metadata, look up their exact wallet, and there you go. You have their account tied to a Twitter name, even if they have their username on there. I mean, you can kind of make your own database right there.
Yeah.
You can do a lot of things. I mean, I'm not doing that, but I'm sure other people are. But I'm looking at the data in front of me on Mutascan. The Mutascan's got a lot of information on there. It's blockchain. I mean, you got a chain of transactions. It's just fun to look at. It's been in crypto for so long. It's interesting. This project kind of merged all the things I like. Like with crypto and finance and the collectibles and the comics. I've been collecting comics since I was a kid. So put it all together. It's like, hey, the data's here. I've been doing databases for like a decade. I'm a software developer now at a fintech firm. It's just fun stuff for me, really.
Yeah, it's cool because you mentioned Twitter and how people are already shilling their buys and their sells or whatever. And we hear all this news about the Veveverse, and we hear about how people are going to have their showrooms, but this is what this is about. It's about showing off. Like, people are going to be buying things to have in their wallet, so people will look them up and see their wallets. Even if you're not looking up their profile, you can go look up their wallet, and they can be showing off just by owning it. Like, that's the whole point of the blockchain here, right? And let's not make any mistakes here. The video, that your first video there, biggest wallet on Veve, it has the Warhol in it. We know that's Dr. Profit. We know that he's the one who won the auction or whatever. So Dr. Profit, he's not a dumb guy. He's obviously gotten to where he's gotten by being smart and figuring things out. And of course he knows that this was coming, and that blockchain is very transparent. So I mean, in a way, maybe what he's been doing this whole time was also kind of a flex. Maybe that's the way it is. I mean, he knew blockchain is going to be showing what he owns, and people are going to figure it out, especially the way that he buys. He's buying en masse. He's posting Twitter videos of him scrolling through his wallet collection, and you can see the number of the wallets on those if you pause it or whatever, right? So it's not too hard to figure out. And people thinking that maybe he's going to be upset that it's been posted. I don't think so. I think that he knows very well what Veve's about, what the collectibles are about. And I think that everybody else in the space, this kind of serves as a warning. Just maybe you didn't know, but that's what you're dealing with here. Something that is going to be showing off what you own. And sometimes I think a lot of people want people to know what they own in this case, because this is a collecting app. It's not like you're collecting illegal things here. I mean, you're collecting digital images.
I mean, you kind of put something else about that as well. I mean, if you kind of have, a YouTuber saying something as well, say, hey, they're pumping the coin, or not coin, I mean, or your NFT, you're trying to pump an NFT or whatever.
Pump your bags.
Pumping those bags and stuff. And they're kind of pumping it. And then you can, if you know their wallet at least, and like, what are they doing? Are they selling it while they're trying to do a YouTube video? They release a video, all of a sudden it goes up, and then they sell it right after. I mean, that's kind of like, a little sketch. But
these are the benefits, though, we saw already with the whale, that fake whale pump back in end of July, right before KYC, where we speculated at the time that there was almost a whale attack where a coordinated group bought up a whole bunch of specifically targeted high-end collectibles, such as Vader, such as partners, such as Todd, which ran up the price and created FOMO. When some of our subs actually told us, we put out a video saying, don't get caught in a Veve pump and dump. And we did have some people say, hey, I FOMO'd in. I spent $1,000 to get into some of these collectibles. They got caught up in that pump and dump. And at the time, I remember that's this idea of a Vader tracker came to mind. And we know the API is available. At that time, I had to almost like predict the day the token ID dropped. It's not concrete, right? And then you have a range of what you think is Vader, and then you would have to try to figure out, I don't have the ability to use an API like you. It's not my background. But if you were able to figure out, okay, the top wallets, where are the wallets? What are they doing? All of a sudden, you have an uptick in percentage of those wallets buying collectibles of Vaders. A lot of Vaders are going to these wallets. A lot of these you can start figuring out what's a real, money's coming into the app, prices, you have inflation, versus what's a pump and dump, what's being a coordinated attack, and what's being sold. So I think there's a lot of benefits that can come from the metadata. Do you have any other
You could also
thoughts?
see it coming. You could see it coming ahead. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you have any other thoughts in terms of like how the metadata will change the way that we either view our collectibles or how we will read the market? Any other thoughts?
I thought about a lot of things with the metadata that is going to cause a lot of fights among people. Say, hey, you bought what, when? Like, you can look at, hey, what price was it there? And you bought this. I mean, it's just kind of, your coworker, you kind of flex something and say, hey, this, they look up their wallet and it's like, hey, this guy's got a lot of money. He's putting it into collectibles. It's like your friend, think about it, everything, you don't know somebody who's kind of blabbing about this and that. I mean, all of a sudden they you see a wallet and they got nothing in there. It's a lot of different things that you can think of.
Yeah. I think it's always been, up until now, almost a very private question. If you were to ask somebody, how much money have you put in the app, or what is your most expensive collectible? And sometimes it's a private question. People feel maybe a little bit intimidated by the question because maybe they feel they haven't put in enough. Maybe they're very involved, they haven't put enough, or the opposite. Maybe they feel that they put in too much and they don't want to be judged that way because they might be at big losses. I think at the end of the day, history is history. You can't change whatever's happened. You go with it. And maybe in the end, it'll be better off this way, that people can just look up someone's wallet and figure it out on their own, so you don't have to go through that awkward conversation. Who knows? Maybe it'll be better.
I mean, it's about safety as well. I mean, I've told a lot of people before, like a story about some guy getting kidnapped. He just had a lot of crypto, and he kind of flexed it a lot, and he got kidnapped. I think it was possibly in Iceland or something. And they tried to get his private keys for his wallet. I mean, and transfer that stuff out. I mean, it's kind of scary if you're kind of but the thing is with Veve, I mean, it's kind of being almost a blessing being a closed ecosystem like this as well. So it's don't keep pushing them to kind of open it up this soon, because I think it's probably better to have a little bit more time to kind of think about all the possibilities of what's going on with it.
Yeah, like I was part of a project it was a drop shot project. It was a complete disaster when they had interoperability. A very, wasn't very well prepared. People were losing their NFTs. I think you brought up a really good point, because knowing full well that you're no longer going to be working anonymously anymore, your wallet will be exposed. If you have a lot of money in this app, that's a great warning that you just brought up. You better be careful flexing too much, because at least Dr. Profit, no one really knows who he is. It's Dr. Profit, but you don't necessarily see him maybe on Twitter revealing his true identity. And then it's a warning to anyone. Yeah, right? for very good reason.
That's exactly what I'm trying to point out. There's a reason for that. There's it could get scary. You don't know what's going to happen. But people flexing on Twitter and this and that. You're playing games, you're having fun. But just be aware of what you're doing.
Yeah, it's a thing too. It's centralized, like right now. I guess it's easy to enter. It's easy for people to get in. They don't have to know the ins and outs of crypto to be able to buy a collectible. You can pop it on your credit card. But the difference is people know your credit card bill pretty much in a way, right? Maybe they don't see the prices, but they know what you're buying, what you're selling. So they have information on you. So it's just like something for you guys to be aware of. I know a lot of people watching these videos maybe aren't even in any other crypto, and maybe they just like, oh, I'm just in this, doing this, and it's not to scare you. It's to let you know, like, this is what this type of project and this type of stuff does. Like you guys talked about earlier with YouTubers, for example, pumping and dumping. This is perfect. We can show receipts that we haven't sold our things. It's good in that way, right? We're not worried about it, because we're not that type of guys.
You see, the blockchain is keeping receipts for you. That's the good thing about it.
There you go. I don't got to write it down.
Exactly. Keeping people in check. So
yeah. So just like keep it in mind. I mean, you're not buying something from the store where nobody knows what you buy. You're buying something, and it could potentially be tracked back to your wallet. So just keep that in the back of your head whenever you're making purchases, or I guess exclamations on Twitter. shouting to the world what you're buying, and just keep it in the back of your head. I think that's an important lesson from this.
Okay. So any final thoughts before we close out, OBD?
Final thoughts. Yeah, I mean, you can just imagine with the metadata now, you can start looking up mint numbers. You can start looking up, what hasn't been minted yet, what mint numbers have been minted yet, what has been flipped. If they start adding sales data, you can start seeing, hey, this is what it was sold for. Once they add the sales data, now you can actually see, hey, this person bought it for X and sold it for X and so on. And you can accumulate that data and really, really know how much somebody paid for everything. And that's when we'll really get the value of somebody's wallet and what they paid, what they lost, or up and down, and so on. So I'm going to be coming out with a lot more videos, just trying to get some, some business stuff done this weekend. And this coming week, we're going to put out some more.
Yeah.
Top 10. I don't know. What do you guys want?
We're talking with him every single day, so we'll be in his ear, making sure that he puts out these videos on time and rush him right to the gates. If he misses something, it's our fault, like he said in his last video. But no, definitely, it's been a pleasure to have you on the channel, Rob. I think we got to do one thing before we go.
We're going to do our typical standing. Oh, thank you for coming on. Fantastic as always. And guys, if you don't know him yet, you're going to know him soon. Make sure you hit the subscribe button for Omi Daily Burn. Get him to those 1,000 subs. I know he'll be there before you know it. You want to hear about all the things that he just discussed right now, all the power of the metadata. Make sure you subscribe and hit that bell button for him. And if you haven't already, make sure you smash the subscribe button, join the Superstar fam, and hit the bell notification button so you got every single thing, every video, every day that we got coming at you with whatever we can come up with regarding Veve. Also, Superstar VIP, $2.99 a month. So thank you to all our supporters who support our channel. You get the star beside your name in the YouTube comments. Get our spreadsheets that you can use as tools, advertisements. You get entered into our giveaways for a star in the universe. We want to do everything we can to bring as much utility as possible to the Superstar VIP. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Go ahead.
And a Vader tracker.
Yes.
I'm going to build you a Vader tracker.
Okay, there we go.
I promise you this time I will.
We need that Vader. I want that Vader tracker.
It's on video. It's recorded now. It's on the blockchain somewhere.
Right.
Yeah,
That's it. I will.
All right. Thank you, OBD. See you guys. Take care. Bye-bye.